and welcome to the EMEA Women in Tech Podcast. We are very excited to announce our own podcast series. Together, we'll have meaningful discussions about relevant topics to the women in tech community, and we invite you all to join us in this exciting journey. My name is Lili Danas. I'm part of the Trust and Safety team at LinkedIn and one of your hosts. But I'm not alone.
Hey everyone, my name is Elena Capcelea. I'm part of Content Technology Engineering team, and I'm also currently one of the Women in Tech members based in Dublin. It's a pleasure to be here as together with my colleagues embark on a fantastic journey. We will challenge the status quo and eliminate the brilliance that lies within women in engineering field. I'm fueled by the electric energy of the Women in Tech mission and vision.
And lastly, my name is Seeger. I am part of the data organization here at LinkedIn, and I work on language technology for AI and machine learning systems. I am also currently one of the leads of our regional Women in Tech branch. I'm incredibly excited to be kicking off this podcast series, where we aim to share experiences, showcase talent, spark conversations, and create community for all women in tech. So, thanks for tuning in and happy listening.
Welcome to the first episode of EMEA LATAM Women in Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Elena Capcelea. I am part of Content Technology Engineering team. I joined LinkedIn 1.5 years ago as an apprentice, part of IFIT Tech program in software development based in Ireland. So today we'll be talking about the importance of women in tech and how software development apprenticeship programs can help women elevate their careers in the engineering industry. Joining us today is Suzanne Kennedy, an IT project manager who completed the IFIT Tech partnership program and has since gone on to lead successful tech projects within LinkedIn. We also have Charlie Fitzgerald with us, who is an active supporter of women in tech, who successfully implemented diversity and inclusion initiatives in the organization. Welcome, Suzanne and Charlie. So, a quick intro about IFIT program. It offers participants the opportunity to earn while they learn, and such modern apprenticeship foster economic independence, progression, and clear pathways to quality employment. So, Charlie, can you tell us a bit about your experience and what inspired you to support the FIT program and promote women in the field of engineering?
Well, I think first of all, 6 years ago, I was approached by FIT to get involved in the program. It actually wasn't a Women in Tech program. It was just a general program that I tried to find out a little bit more about. And really, what interested me at the time was it was an opportunity for people who've been trained in other industries to get retrained and an opportunity to work in tech. So I know the very first time we went for it, we had a lot of different people coming in, whether they were working on building sites or as butchers and things like this, and they decided they wanted to retrain and become IT professionals. So that kind of interested me at the time to see and give people an opportunity to work in the tech industry. What we actually struggled with at the time was the fact that people came in, and because it was a software engineering course, they really were focused on getting a career in software engineering, which wasn't really what we were looking for in LinkedIn. So what I really tried to get involved in was people had the right fit and the right culture to work at LinkedIn. So that was the main thing that drew me into it. And we took it on a trial period, and the first person that came in really did come in and embrace the opportunity to learn new things in LinkedIn rather than just focus on the software development. So that was really my first interaction with FIT.
That's wonderful. And a part of this exciting journey within LinkedIn, Suzanne, can you tell us a bit about your experience going through this program and what inspired you to pursue a career in this field?
So I think the course gives you a very hands-on experience in a major tech company like LinkedIn. It's quite a broad course, and there's a lot of time to learn and develop within it. So it's a 2-year program. There's 6 months in a college-based setting, and then after that you go into the workplace 3 days a week and then 4 days a week. And then during that time, you're also learning industry certs. So that's really beneficial as well. It's quite broad. So you can learn a lot of different things, a lot of different areas within IT. So from software development to project management. And I think what inspired me to kind of join the program, I've always had an interest in understanding technology, and but I kind of felt like it wasn't within my reach. It wasn't taught in school for me, and I really didn't see that many females in computer science. And even in college, I never felt like it was something that I could do. I didn't see people like me in the programs. So I actually studied political science in university and went into that field of work, and really wasn't happy when I actually went into the workforce. And I really wanted to try something new, and I saw the FIT program, and it was really appealing to me just because it was promoting women in tech, and you don't necessarily need the background experience either. So I didn't have a background in tech or anything like that. And it was scary making that change, but I also wanted to do it for my own happiness. So that's kind of what made me pursue a career in tech.
Wow, this is really inspiring. And as you mentioned, it's very scaring and risky at the same time to have such a bold move and embark this journey of engineering, especially for women. And when you want to pursue something new, like in engineering, it requires a lot of commitment and a lot of time to dedicate to this and study, and as well go to the work and use both the skill set and apply this in the work day by day. This is really inspiring. And how did you make the transition from an apprentice to an IT project manager? And what skills did you find to be the most important for success in this role?
Yeah, it was definitely a gradual process. I worked in many different areas of IT in the beginning of the program, just to see what suited me and my personality and kind of my skill set best. I tried to gain as much experience as possible in the beginning, and I found out that project management was kind of my area and what I did best. So I focused working on that area and working with more senior PMs and TPMs. And I also got a mentor in this field, so that really helped me as well. And just gaining experience from them and their knowledge and wisdom and what their careers looked like as well. So I really think like having a mentor is like really, really important, and building that support network within the company once you get in. And obviously having a supportive manager, like Charlie, was also great. And he wanted to see, you grow and develop and wanted the best for you. So that was also really, really important. In terms of skills, a lot of different skills, really, but I think communication is crucial. You as a project manager, you work with a lot of different people. You work with a lot of different teams, stakeholders, leadership, etc. So, most projects will have a lot of different stakeholders. So you need to make sure that everyone's aligned and we're all on the same page and ideally happy, which is important as well. And another one is probably organization. It's probably an obvious one, but you need to organize your own time, your own tasks, and then depending on your role, you might manage a program or portfolio of projects. So you might have to manage the overall portfolio of projects, and then you might need to also work on like individual projects within the portfolio. So, you need to be very organized because, you have to have your own management in place, and then other people are also relying on you to be organized as well. Another one is probably the technical knowledge, but that's, it's not essential to be a project manager. An IT project manager is actually not essential. As I said, I don't have a background in IT, and, it's something that can be learned. And as you go along and you get more experience, you can learn that. So, don't be afraid if you don't have that background in IT. You can obviously learn and grow as you go along.
Yeah, that's a really great point. And as you mentioned about all this experience and be exposed to such a broad range of responsibilities in this area as an IT project manager, of course, you build resilience, grit, because this needs a lot of commitment and time to dedicate to pursue to this level. Just a question. Can you tell us about any challenges or obstacles you faced to the path to become an IT project manager?
Yeah, sure. So I think most people will probably struggle with this at some point in their career, but I did really struggle with imposter syndrome. And you're in this like major tech company like LinkedIn, and you're working with the best of the best and the most experience in their field. And then there you are just trying to do your best, so that was something that I had to overcome personally. It wasn't LinkedIn. LinkedIn's culture is great. They're really open to internships and willing to help you grow and develop. So that was something I personally had to work on and overcome. Another challenge, obviously, the technical part, not having a background in IT. That just improves with time and more experience. And then just getting involved in more, I think that helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's great, Charlie. And being the first mentor and the leader of this program, how did you find this and the program at all, and helping women in tech evolve to such a great career like Suzanne in IT project management?
Well, I think we've been very lucky with the caliber of people that have come through the program to make it easy. I mean, we can certainly give opportunities to people, and as Suzanne mentioned, there's a lot of different technologies, there's a lot of different opportunities there to kind of learn things. But I think the individuals themselves have to create the relationships. They've got to break the barriers that are in place. Like when Suzanne herself started in the program, COVID came along and she was having to do everything remotely then. So creating those relationships in a global team across the world, in California and Bangalore, there's a lot to that. But I think, that's what we've been very lucky, as I said, in the program, that people have done that and they've managed to find the right careers for themselves. They've developed the relations themselves and been able to progress and really do some incredible things since they've joined the company.
Yep. Is there any other advice you think can be given to somebody who considers a career in the field of engineering, especially joining such as iFit program apprenticeships, and why?
Well, certainly this program, I think it's, someone has to see it as a real opportunity. As Suzanne mentioned, it's a 2-year program. You do the first 6 months full time in college. So obviously you're learning some new technologies, you're learning some new skills, which is fantastic. But when you go into the work environment, having that flexibility then to not only, look at the skills you're learning in college, but what other opportunities there is within the organization, and what other areas, like, Suzanne went through a software development program and ended up working as a project manager. So, you're not necessarily going to have an exact fit. So being flexible, being open to other opportunities, and obviously being hardworking and dedicated makes a massive difference.
Great advices. Thank you. It's a question to both of you. So what do you think are some of the biggest challenges facing women in tech today? And how can organizations address these issues?
I don't know. I mean, to me, like, I'm very, very used to my whole career working with females and being managed from females from a very early stage of my career. So, I've always been very used to the fact in relation to that. But obviously, there's other barriers. But I think in this team in Dublin here, where we're based, we've got a very diverse team between females and males, which has made it much easier for people to come into the environment we've created. So, obviously, I'm a little bit biased in relation to thinking that we have a good environment here, which makes it a little bit easier. I'm sure Suzanne has a much more eloquent answer than that, have you?
No, I agree. I think maybe there needs to be more like promotion around apprenticeships. And, I think when I went through university, there was maybe a little bit bias that it wasn't as good as doing a university degree, or, it's a lot different now, I think. I didn't actually realize that there was IT apprenticeships, to be honest. And then I saw the iFit program, and you really get this hands-on experience in a tech company, which is great. And I think maybe there could be a bit more like promotion around what is involved in the apprenticeship program, maybe in colleges and universities as well, that this is an option, or in secondary schools, that this is an option, if you don't want to go down the kind of more typical path of university. And yeah, I think if I knew more, maybe I would have chose this path before going to university, who knows. So I think, yeah, just like maybe a bit more promotion in like secondary schools around the apprenticeship program.
Yeah, I agree with Suzanne there, because I think most people, determined just to go and do their third level education and not looking at this as an option. And I think in the past, where we've been successful, it's been people who've actually done the third education and then come through this program, when that's not necessarily has to be the path. Like, I mean, just going on this program, getting involved with the right company. Obviously, I think the right company is very important, that company is going to support the program and support the individuals. But yes, it definitely needs to be viewed as a real alternative for people.
Totally agree, both of you. And I'm super impressed, excited about this program, because it really offers all the participants the opportunity to earn while they learn. And in such modern world, I think this is a real fit for everybody pursuing in each field, not only the engineering, but in order to become successful and professional in an area of a field like engineering or other areas, you have to pursue a skill set. So you should learn the skills and then apply while you work. And having bonuses like earning because of this, I think this is a really great bonus. Suzanne, just a question. What advice would you give to females as they pursue leadership roles in technology?
In relation to applying for the program, is it? Yeah.
Yes.
I would just say go for it. Don't feel like it's unreachable for you. There's so many opportunities in tech and so many avenues to get into it. Not everyone's career is linear and straightforward. And, don't be afraid to make that change, because I know I was a little bit afraid, after studying one thing in university and then completely changing. And that, that's okay to do that. And, don't be afraid to try something new. And, if you have an interest in technology, go for it. And there's all these different avenues to get into it. So that would be my advice. And I definitely think the industry needs more women. So, yeah, I would definitely encourage it.
Yep. Charlie, any thoughts?
I think, for leadership roles specifically, I think, Suzanne spoke about it earlier on again, when we talk about mentors and making sure you have the right people that are helping with your career path. But I mean, just being your authentic self in somewhere like LinkedIn has a massive advantage. And I think, leadership roles more and more are being filled by females and women in tech, which I think is incredible. And I think that can only grow. But just being, I suppose, as I said, your authentic self, showing empathy to people is very important, especially in a company like LinkedIn.
Definitely. And it's clear that creating a welcoming space for women in technology is not only morally right, but also beneficial to companies. We've covered some valuable insights today. And before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or recommendations for the next upcoming generation on how they can pursue a role in the engineering field, especially for women leaders?
Yeah, I mean, again, I suppose like the opportunities for people as they go through their schooling there's a lot at the moment. I mean, people, as I said, when they finish their school, they've got third level opportunities straight into the workforce or go through a program like this. So I think getting a career in engineering, in tech for women now has become an easier path. And hopefully we're breaking the barriers from the fact that it isn't viewed as something that a female can do when they're going through our secondary schools or college in Ireland. Hopefully we're breaking those barriers, and in the future it's seen as something that people really can get involved in. And more of these STEM programs through schools are helping, I think, break those barriers.
Definitely. And that brings us to the end of today's first episode of EMEA LATAM Women in Tech podcast. We've explored the importance of women's contributions to technology and highlighted the significance of creating an inclusive and empowering environment. It's crystal clear that participation of women in the engineering field is not just about gender equality. It's about unlocking untapped potential and driving progress. When we provide equal opportunities, support, and recognition to women engineers, we create a more diverse and innovative industry. Change begins with each of us. Whether you are an aspiring engineer, a seasoned professional, or a company leader, we all have a role to play in building a more inclusive engineering world. Let's actively challenge stereotypes, eliminate biases, and create pathways for women to thrive in this field. Thank you, Suzanne and Charlie, for joining us on this exciting journey and sharing your experiences, insights, and passion for women in engineering.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
To all our listeners, thank you for joining us, and we hope that today's episode has inspired you to take action and contribute to our mission to break barriers and promote inclusivity in the tech world. Progress is possible when we work together and embrace diversity. Until then, keep dreaming big and shaping the future of engineering. Thank you for tuning in. This is Elena. Sign off.